Hi friend, I am Leigh Koechner. Welcome to day number 15 of FYG GYG, Find Your Gift and Give Your Gift, 33 days to a more joyful life. If you would please join me starting out with 3 relaxing breaths. We're just going to do simple breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. Uncross your legs and your hands in your lap. We'll go in through our nose, out through our mouth, in through our nose, and out through our mouth, in through our nose, and out through our mouth. I'm grateful for breath today. Got another day on this beautiful planet. All right, you guys, our topic today is I am creative. I am creative. Have you ever thought about the fact that we are all made in the likeness of God, or the kingdom of God is within us? Every single religion says it. God is the creator of everything, the entire universe. Therefore, we are created to create because we are of the creator. We are made in that likeness, so we are born as creators. Have you ever heard people before say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. I'm not creative. I'm not artsy. I'm not crafty. Have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard this? Do you feel this way? I used to, for reals. When I was younger and I was running fast, partying hard, and still carrying my story of unworthiness, I didn't think I was creative because my story of being strong and not needing anyone was my heavy armor covering me, covering my heart. When I started to melt that armor, I was surprised what was under there. I was sensitive. I was intuitive. I was creative. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sensitive because I hadn't cried in 30 years. I had told myself that I was tough, tomboy, and that I didn't care about makeup or fashion, and I couldn't do anything artsy. Boy, was I wrong. The stories we tell ourselves and believe are absurd. They're absurd. I started to paint, to write. I did a one-woman show. I started to dress up and make my own fashion statements. I started to design jewelry, to wear tutus. Oh my gosh, creativity was literally pouring out of me once I tapped into it and recognized it, and it hasn't stopped. When we allow ourselves to access what is inside of us, what is waiting patiently to come out, we access the magic, the abundance of creativity, as well as our soul's guidance whispering to us, wondering when we will listen. We're actually tomorrow going to talk a little bit about meditation because I think it's so important to welcome that into your life. So we're going to start really hearing the whispers tomorrow. But today, let's start to listen. Let's allow ourselves to set aside our crippling stories from our childhood that we have been hiding behind and acknowledge there are some powerful gifts and tools brewing inside of us waiting to come out. Just take a moment right now to acknowledge yourself, to acknowledge that you are not your spinning mind, you're not your bad day, you're not the story from your childhood, you're not even your body or your hair or your eyes. You are a magnificent bright light temporarily housed in this. That's what we want to work with. That's where we want to show up with. That's what we want to tap more into. Okay, today let's set an intention to explore, play with, and connect to our creative self. Yesterday we talked about play, which is a great lead-in for today. Play opens up the pathways for creative flow. When we are engaged in play, we connect with our heart rather than leading with the mind. And that is one of the many reasons I love moving us from our head to our heart. If you hear a voice within you that says you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. That is by Vincent van Gogh. Okay, oh, and that reminds me of the time I did my first workshop when my voice was saying, who are you? You don't know what the hell you're doing? You're not qualified to do this? And it was so crippling I couldn't catch my breath, but I pushed through and went and did it anyway. And that voice has never come back. And if it has, it's been like a little chihuahua biting my ankle, not a crippling thing where I can't breathe. So you can actually crush the crippling thoughts that come into your head that aren't real. They're just silly thoughts that you're holding. Some people have mentioned, I don't know what my gifts are. Some people in this group, I can't decide. Have you guys ever really tried hard to remember something, like a person's name or an address or a time for something, and you try really, really hard and you can't remember it? Only to have it show up with grace and ease when you're doing something entirely different later in the day. It just comes right up with no resistance. It just pops up magically when you weren't trying so hard to find it. The same thing happens when we wrestle with our minds for ideas or solutions. So if you're like, I don't know what my gift is. Oh, I can't decide. What is my purpose? Like you're pushing it further and further and further away. It's kind of like sometimes you look at something and if you're looking at it, you can't really see it. But if you look to the right of it, you can really see it. Like when I see a star, sometimes I look at a star and it disappears. But if I look just to the right of it, I can see the star. It's that same kind of thing when we focus so hard and racking our brains and from here, trying to think what our purpose is or what our gifts are, we're pushing it further and further away. We need to step aside. We need to play and engage and allow our creativity to flow. So it says, if you're saying, I don't know what my passions are, yes, you do. You just have to remove the blocks that are keeping you from them, which is our stories or the thought that we don't know. I told you I'm working with this mentor, and every time I say, well, what should I do? She says, go within. And I'm like, damn it, that's going to take 5 minutes. Just tell me. But really, when you remember everything that you have for your entire life you were born with. So when you're ready and you close your eyes and you go within and you ask yourself, what are my passions? What are my gifts? And you get quiet, you can hear. Or you can start connecting and getting closer to it because this will get you further and further from it. When you do something engaging, we allow the ideas or solutions to show up when we aren't trying so hard but flowing. And that's what play and creativity do. They help us flow. As we tap into what's possible, ideas and solutions come to us with grace and ease, and we have a plethora of creativity. I love the word plethora. So today, explore your creative juices. Here's a quote from a gal named Twyla Tharp. Creativity is not just for artists. It's for business people looking for a new way to close a sale. It's for the engineers trying to solve a problem. It's for parents who want to show their children to see the world in one more way. So my husband this morning was watching CNN in the bathroom, which makes me crazy. I hate it. I hate the noise. I hate the anger. I hate the same bad stories over and over. I really don't like it. And he watches it all the time, but he's trying not to do it when I'm around. But today I walked into the bathroom. He was just staring at the TV, watching the same story he watched last night before he fell asleep. And I said, there's no judgment there. No, I'm kidding. And I know that when we fill ourselves with things that upset us or stress us out, or it feeds our anger seed in our body. And that anger seed, the more we feed it things that upset us, the more it grows like a really messed up weed, choking you in other areas of your life, like creativity and like play. So I told him what I was talking about with you guys today, and maybe today he could try at some point one time when he wanted to turn on CNN for 20 minutes, during his breaks at work. Instead, pick up a pen and paper and start writing that script you wanted to write for a movie, or start writing that television script. So just implement one change today. I'm going to cut off CNN for 20 minutes and I'm going to feed myself by allowing my creativity and excitement of my heart to come out instead of filling it more with the other. Do you guys see that example? So after I told him that, he told me to please be quiet and get out of the bathroom, which I did. But think about it, you guys. Think about what you do each day. Think about how often you go on Facebook, which you should with me, of course, but how often you go on and just trolling and liking shit. Take that time to do something else, something different and something creative, just one time today. Maybe you want to go to Instagram and go like this through like. Instead, go, what am I going to do today? Oh, I'm going to write a song. I'm going to write an outline to a pretend book I might one day write. I'm going to one little thing like that. Think about things you do throughout the day. What are you putting into your body? What are you feeding your mind? Be aware. Stand guard of what you let into your mind and into your heart. Let's bring in more play and creativity than routine and news. Okay, here are some things you could try. And today I want you to try something, and you can post here what you're going to try if you already know it, something you've been wanting to do, something that's not too big, a little teeny thing. You could get a photo you like of yourself and doctor it up a little bit and write, hello, I love you, and send it to all your friends. You could draw something with just a pen and paper. Just draw your cup and try and draw the water and try and draw the straw. Just draw something. And when you do, don't judge it, don't erase it. Just let it flow, even if it looks like it was done by a third grader. Who cares? Pick a song that you love and sing it out loud as you can, and act it out. I was walking down the street, hey, hey. That is not a song, but that was an example that just popped in my head, and I was letting my creative juices flow. Sorry about that. Wear a bright color, paint your nails something different and wild, try a new outfit or trend on for yourself. Read a poem from your favorite poet, then try writing your own. Mine is Maya Angelou, so I would read something from her, let it inspire me, and then take that thought and write a 3-line poem. She used to say it very. Okay, get your creative juices flowing. They will spill over and into all that you do. My quote for today is, use your creativity and watch it overflow. Oh, and then one other thing I wrote, I put, your life is your canvas. What are you painting? And feel free before you go off today, your life is your canvas. Write down what you're painting on yours. Write it down for me on this thread right now. If it's your canvas, look at your canvas, look at your life. What are you painting? What are you creating? And if you love what you're writing, write on. And if you don't, let's give a little attention today, one little thing to be creative. Dear God, thank you for giving us everything that we need when we're born. Let us be in awe of ourselves. Let us honor ourselves. Let us quiet our minds and move closer to you and closer to our soul and closer to our greatness and our true self. All of the good stuff. And God, let us free ourselves of our judgments, of our stories, and just breathe today, knowing that we are none of those things. Thank you for this opportunity to spend with these people and with myself and what I'm learning during these 33 days. Amen. All right, you guys, tomorrow we are focusing on meditating. And if you signed up for level 2 or 3, we are actually doing our nighttime meditation tomorrow night. So join me for that. I will see you tomorrow on day 16 talking about meditating. Om.